Reaperman here, and today I've got a video that's kind of half thrift find brag from, oh gosh, nearly 20 years ago, and half of it's kind of a legitimate mystery. So what I have here, I have these kind of weird Pirate Saturn games that I picked up in a thrift store. So for background, I joined the Navy after 2001 and got stationed in Point Mugu, California, which is kind of wedged in between kind of Malibu, Camarillo, and Oxnard. And the thrift stores in Oxnard were unreal. I got my first projector out of that one. I got a pachinko machine out of another one out there, and I got two of these Losi double X4s that I was able to make down into one of them, and I had to buy new tires and a new body, but otherwise it was actually pretty good. Anyway, one of the thrift finds that I had out there were actually these weird pirated Sega Saturn games. Now, these are interesting in that they're kind of serialed and they have labels, and they're actually printed on the disc fairly well. Like this is S005 and it's Knights, but they're printed in a quality that's kind of unusual dots. So I'm not sure if there's some technology with that. Anyway, let's start at the beginning on this. So I've got Puzzle Bobble 3 and 2X here, and that's S013 and whatever that is. Got Guardian Heroes and oh gosh, who knows. And that's those. Got Alone in the Dark and Virtual Photo Studio. I've played this one. It's kind of a weird kind of full motion video game. This is S42 and S16. Now these numbers and labels will change later on in here, and this is one of the two Bomberman games. I can't tell which one to save my life, and Sonic 3D Blast. Then we have some kind of a ninja game and Knights. Got Fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter Kids. Virtua Tennis Open and NBA Live 98. This one's got a bit more of a label to it. It goes all the way around. Most of these are cut off right there, but this one actually wraps around as if it was in some kind of a CD case. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And some of these discs just have the name of the game on them, and some of them have the name of the game, like NBA Live 98 here has GG653 on it. So that's a little bit different label than most of these have. Also, most of the child, or I guess the rating labels are in Japanese. Well, I mean, they're designed to look like the Japanese Sero ratings. So we got Tomb Raider, S410, Alien Trilogy, that'd be these two. Virtua Cop 2 and Decathlete, Street Fighter Zero and Loaded. This one's interesting. It's got a picture of a lady on with some characters, I'm assuming some flavor of Chinese up there, and the actual printing for Street Fighter actually goes all the way down into the area of the disc that you would not expect to see any printing, and it goes off of the silver. So that's something. Then here's Funky Head Boxers Plus and Puzzle Action something. These actually may not match at all because this one just says Sega Saturn on it, and this just has And here is a Data East game called Voice Idol Maniacs Pool Bar Story. Sounds fun and sounds like something I probably can't play. Panzer Dragoon Vi. Oh, this one's got all kinds of labels, and it's a 2-discer. This one actually looks almost legit. Moving over, we've kind of switched sides on where the labels are. So NBA Jam Extreme here has something labeled Programmers and has an S on top and an S on the bottom inside a diamond. That might be the easiest thing to help identify these. Again, if anybody has seen any of this kind of stuff before, please let me know, because I've always wondered where this stuff is from. Here's NBA Live 97. There's the labels for them. And here's one that's just labeled S224, but it's labeled video CD down here, which is kind of interesting. This one might be a movie, or it might be yet another basketball game. I don't know. It's been in this position forever. I got Bomberman Fight here, which I don't think I have seen a label for. It's unlike the other Bomberman up in the front. Then we've got the labels for F1 Live Formation and Destruction Derby. Here's Sega Ral. Again, an obvious misspelling. And on this disc, it is HW005. Oh, here's an interesting label over on Destruction Derby. It says Games World with some Asian characters of some sort on it. So there's the Sega Ral. It just says Sega Sports. And I've got Road Rash 3 there. Here's S57 is, gosh, something or other. There's Virtual Racing. Again, I've reviewed Virtual Racing on this channel before. The Sega Saturn version is actually one of my favorites, and now I think the Switch version may have replaced it as my absolute favorite. I also recently tried the PlayStation 2 version, and that was not as fun to me. The control was just weird. Also, the Switch version is weird too for difficulty. The difficulty is just non-existent. So we've got another one of these S Programmers S here with something 97. And here's Karts Formula G192. Drift King something 97. And Andretti Racing, this may not be related to the one in the back there. Then got Daytona USA, Manx TT Superbike. Both of those excellent games. This one's CC321. This one's S35, and that's written in negative, so I bet that's going to be hard to see. But here's the labels on those. Again, I'm not seeing where these things are from at all. Here's Go-Go with a bunch of, I don't know, minigame collection? And FIFA 97. So these are definitely not legitimate discs, at least as near as I can see, especially when we get later on in this thing. But I have no idea where these come from. They're heavily focused on basketball and the European football, soccer game kind of thing. Atlanta 1996, J-League, Saxu 2, Everybody Music. I've seen a lot of these labeled Everybody Music. Also around the edge here, there's some copyright stuff, oddly enough, on this one. Demo music disc, not for sale, no commercial value. That's kind of funny. This is copyright 1997 Theme Corp Music Group. All rights reserved. Unauthorized reproduction, copying, hiring, lending, public performance, and wow. They're supposed to be doing broadcasting, but it's broad-easting of this recording is a violation of applicable laws and subject to criminal prosecution. So that's a little overboard for that. Is VR Soccer with a Toy Story demo. I think we saw that label farther back, the cover for that farther back. And now, maybe there's a second one. And now we're getting into just some random CDRs that were in there. So that is my weird mystery. Has anybody seen anything like this? Now, back in the 90s, we didn't have any of this where I was from, but then again, I wasn't from the area where these came from, and there was all kinds of weird gaming things down that were kind of Southern California specific. So I'm just wondering if anybody had seen this, if it was like a subscription service or like a janky hole-in-the-wall store somewhere that was selling these things. But actually, a couple of weeks before I bought this, I actually had a different thrift store find. And this is just getting into brag territory here. So I did have the ability to play import games and pirated games using this Action Replay Plus already, because I'd been a Sega Saturn fan for quite some time, since before I moved out to California. But a couple of weeks after this thing was in the thrift store, I saw this. And pure brag time, that price tag is correct. I bought this thing for $4. It is a first generation Saturn, meaning it's got the oval buttons. I always like that look a little different, or a little bit better. And one of the reasons I snapped it up so fast So I looked back here, and it came with a movie card that I didn't have, and I had some of the imports that used the movie card. Anyway, in addition to all of that, this system is also modded. Now I've peeked around inside of it and I've seen a couple of stray wires. So it's got to be some kind of a mod chip in there, not a flash or anything like that. But I have never opened this thing up before. Anyway, this is now my main Saturn, and like a lot of my thrift store finds, I do leave the labels on just because I think it's kind of funny that there's no way anything like this would go for less than $100 right now. But getting back to these guys, if anybody knows anything about where these things possibly came from, or heck, even if I could find more of them, that'd be great. So leave a comment down in the comment section below, and Reaper Man out.